association, coalition, communion, concorde, confédération, entente, like entente cordiale between France and England, harmonie, league, pacte, union. It gives me some nice antonyms. Désaccord, mésentente, mésintelligence, rupture. Mais is a nice preposition for un or not or miss in English, like happiness, content, unhappy, mécontent. Lovely. Yeah, it gives me, it gives me some great words. So we go back then. So in other words, then, if we wanted to try and put that into English, right in the heart of London, in the exclusive quarter of Mayfair Village, or in whatever, the Connaught gives a new sense of British luxury through a knowledgeable or a savvy combination of, or it savvily combines the tradition and modernity. So in other words, what you find, ce que vous découvrez with this kind of language, avec ce genre de langage, is that you kind of can't stick with the original. You kind of have to respect the ideas of the thing you're reading, but that is the art of the translation. Donc ça, c'est l'art de la traduction. So we carry on. Emplacement, first paragraph, premier paragraphe. Emplacement. The Connaught, à l'entrée de Main Street, est entouré par les plus prestigieux magasins et restaurants de Mayfair. Il se situe également à proximité des galeries et boutiques les plus en vogue de Londres et de surcroît, à seulement quelques pas des parcs et jardins les plus paisibles de la capitale. So, emplacement. Now, if we were to look at emplacement, we can possibly work out placement. Yeah, we can possibly work that out from English. We go up to emplacement. Now, there's nothing stopping you. Il n'y a rien qui vous empêche. You could just go to word reference. You could just look it up, English, French, and you get it. But let's just try and stay with the French. Essayons de rester avec le français. So, emplacement. What have we got? Un place occupé par ou destiné à. So, a place occupied by or destined to. A place. So, if we're talking about a hotel, the place occupied by this hotel, what would we call that in English? On dirait comment en anglais? A location. So you might go Luke. Peut-être vous allez me dire, Luke, I thought ION words were the same in French largely. Je pensais que des mots ION qui terminaient ION étaient les mêmes en français largement. And I will say this is one of the false friends. C'est une fausse amie. So for example, location, location, in French, location means the noun of hiring something. Le verbe louer. So for example, bike hire, location, the rental in other words. Colocataire, mais coloc are people you rent with. Definitions on the left, place occupée par quelque chose ou destinée à quelque chose, place réservée pour un véhicule dans un parking, un garage, whatever. Fine, so all the definitions are there. Any nice expressions? Emplacement publicitaire, space for, advertising. Un coin, un endroit, un terrain. They're the synonyms. Nice. Back to the Connaught. So emplacement means location then. The Connaught à l'entrée de. Now individually you can probably work out that entrée means entrance, but would you have known à l'entrée de if I'd have said on the entrance of Mount Street or at the entrance to Mount Street? It's kind of literally like the English, c'est littéralement à peu près la même chose, but make sure you get your coloured highlighter then. Faites bien attention d'utiliser votre stabilo coloré. And let's say, à l'entrée de then is an expression for, at the entrance to. Est entouré par. Do we know what entouré means? So, un tour is a turn, as opposed to la tour, which is the tower. So, entouré is, think of Mariah and her entourage. Mariah, we preferred it when you sat on a stool and you sang well, as opposed to got your boobs out and surrounded yourself, trying to be a poor relation to Beyoncé. We liked you when you sang. So basically, est entouré par is surrounded by, okay? Les plus prestigieux magasins, the most prestigious shops and restaurants in Mayfair. Il se situe. So, it is located, il se situe également écoulé à proximité des galeries et boutiques les plus en vogue, the most in vogue. So if I now straight away said to you, how would you say fashionable? You probably say à la mode. So in other words, we can now say en vogue. Lovely. Et de surcroît. Ooh, an expression you probably don't know, de surcroît. Yeah. So we go over to the dictionary, on regarde le dico. We type in surcroît. Definition. Read. Ce qui s'ajoute en augmentant l'importance, la quantité. Definition. Ce qui s'ajoute à quelque chose en augmentant l'importance, la quantité, le nombre. So increasing the importance, the quantity, the number. Okay? So it's something which increases the quantity, the importance, the number. So it's kind of like, and to increase what I'm saying, how might we say that in French, in English then? Ça on dirait comment en anglais? Furthermore, another thing, something else. So there are all kinds of expressions you could use. Il y a d'autres expressions que vous pourriez utiliser, like également, de plus en plus, autrement dit, oh, and what have we got here? Expressions. Par sur quoi, de sur quoi. Notice it's giving you two. Remarquez qu'on utilise les deux. It's giving me some synonyms then. So synonyms for sur quoi itself. So notice how it's very clever. Remarque, c'est très malin. It's giving me synonyms for the word, and then it will give me synonyms for the expression. So, for example, synonyms for un sur quoi would give me augmentation, complément, excédent, supplément, surcharge, surplus. It's now giving me synonyms for the expression, par sur quoi ou de sur quoi. So, d'autre part, de plus, en outre, et puis, par ailleurs. Quick point out, par ailleurs. So, ailleurs means elsewhere. Par ailleurs means furthermore. D'ailleurs means, oh, and another thing. Then we go to difficulty. Or, that's a bit negative, ça c'est un peu négatif, it's a bit depressing, c'est un peu déprimant. I think it should say, je pense que ça devrait dire plutôt, ça devrait plutôt dire interesting things, you know, les points d'intérêt, un point d'intérêt. So it says, oh, spelling, en orthographe traditionnelle, non réformée, avec un accent circonflexe sur le i. So it's basically saying in the non-reformed, we don't talk about the language reforms, I wasn't very happy with them. On n'en parle pas, enfin, je n'étais pas trop content. So if you look at it says, look, be careful guys, on the I there's an accent there. It says in emploi, emploi means usage, or a job, j'ai un emploi. So on dit indifféremment de sur quoi ou par sur quoi. So we basically say we can use both de sur quoi or par sur quoi. So this little section of the dictionary says, look, I'm really happy that you're looking at this kind of thing. Je suis ravi que vous regardiez ce genre de choses. But notice we might say de, notice we might say at with this. Great. So back to the connote. So, so furthermore then, so it's situated equally à proximité des, what would be my highlighted pen? À proximité de, yeah? Remember, that's just an expression which means near to. What would you have come up with? Près de, which is fine. À côté de, which is fine, yeah? But à proximité des galeries, des boutiques les plus en vogue, à seulement quelques pas des parcs et jardins les plus paisibles de la capitale. A few, only a few. Un pas is a step, like in Spanish, paso doble, like double step, like in dance, or un pas de deux, in ballet when two people dance. Des parcs et jardins les plus paisibles de la capitale. Now you might not know what paisible means, so over we go. Ça se peut que vous saviez pas ce que ça voulait dire. So all we go across, you might know what paisible means, and you might want to know some synonyms. So over to paisible. So, main definition, la définition principale, qui ne manifeste aucune agressivité, qui ne trouble pas, whatever. So, which doesn't manifest any aggression, which doesn't trouble, whatever. Go over to the definition and you get subtle things. So, which doesn't manifest any aggressivity or aggression, which doesn't trouble the peace, trouble la paix. So, already from la paix, you've probably already worked out what paisible means. And it gives us examples. Des voisins paisibles, des, whatever. Neighbours who are... What would neighbours be if they don't disturb the peace? They would be peaceful neighbours. But don't just go word reference paisible, oh yeah, peaceful. Try and use the French. Utilisez le français. So, qui n'est pas troublé intérieurement par un conflit, un sentiment violent. Une passion. Who isn't troubled internally by a conflict, a violent feeling or a passion. So un sommeil paisible, a peaceful sleep. So already we're getting a bit figurative. Yeah, okay, there's no war there when we talk about peace, but it's just, the idea. Qui n'est pas agité, qui est exempt de bruit, de trouble. So basically, not disturbed, absolutely no noise or trouble. So un quartier paisible, like a calm, peaceful area. Qui donne une impression de calme, de paix, which gives the impression of peace. Un fleuve paisible. Fleuve is another word for river. notice it's un fleuve, une rivière. So lovely. So in other words, then we've kind of worked out that paisible means peaceful. Down to synonyms. Doux, pacifique, pacifiste. Yeah, okay. Contraire, agressif, bagarreur. That's quite familiar, like se bagarrer to fight. Batailleur, battling, belliqueux. You might go, what the hell? No, it's not that I need you to use all these words all the time. Ce n'est pas comme si j'ai besoin d'entendre tous ces mots tout le temps. Just have read them so that you are ready pour que vous soyez prêts if somebody decides to use them, si quelqu'un décide d'en utiliser. Belliqueux, that's from the Latin for war. You will have heard in America antebellum, meaning a period of time prior to the Civil War. So if it's an antebellum property, or Lady Antebellum, the group. So chicaneur, combatif, impétueux, querelleur, turbulent. Now you might know these words from combative, impetuous, quarrelling, turbulent, whatever. But, or placide, quiet, serein, rassuré. So it might be that you kind of recognise these words because of the English. Ça se peut que vous reconnaissiez ces mots, c'est possible que vous reconnaissiez ces mots avec l'anglais. Great, but at least then you're adding to your French vocabulary. Good. Antonyms, agité, bouleversé, inquiet, mouvementé, orageux, stormy, ravagé, soucieux, from souci, worry, tourmenté, trépidant, troublé, brillant, dangereux, redoutable. Great, it's just a great way to learn vocabulary. So across we go. Fine to the most peaceful parks and gardens in the capital. Chambre et suite. Les 121 chambres dont 34 magnifiques suites à lit. À lit, that's a verb, ENT is silent. And design traditionnel, you might go, why are we using design? In the same way that people use a little bit of English in French to try and French and English to be a bit fancy, people sometimes in French use a little bit of English to be a bit fancy. De la même manière qu'on utilise l'emploi le français en anglais pour être un peu plus, pour le rendre un peu plus huppé, on fait la même chose en français avec l'anglais. So, un design traditionnel se mêlant à un style contemporain, tous les besoins et désirs du voyageur moderne sont comblés dans ces superbes intérieurs non seulement confortables mais aussi spacieux. So the 121 rooms, of which 34, or including 34 magnificent suites, Ali. You might go, what's Ali? You might remember it from our friend Alliance. Ça se peut que vous vous en souveniez. Notice I'm using the expression you might. Ça se peut. Ça se peut. I think I got a really good email about this from somebody a couple of months ago, and I did a good response. About the word might. Je pense que j'ai bien reçu un email super intéressant de mec il y a quelques mois et je pense que j'en ai fait une vidéo. Anyway, yeah, so ça se peut or c'est possible que are both expressions which are going to use the subjunctive. So Ali, that's Ali because ENT is silent in a verb. ENT se prononce pas avec un verbe. So we go across to dictionnaire and we look up Ali. Ali. So put in the infinitive, allier, A-L-L-I-E-R. What do we have in the red? Réaliser un alliage. To make, what do we call an alliage when you put metal together? Like an alloy. Number 2, allier or s'allier. S'unir par le mariage, un traité, un accord. Similar words to what we had earlier with alliance. So to unite yourself, because unir on its own would be to unite two other things. So to unite through marriage, a treaty, a deal, whatever. Definitions, réaliser un alliage, allier le cuivre avec l'étain pour faire du bronze. So to make an alloy, to bring together copper and tin to make bronze. Mêler, combiner, réunir ensemble des choses de nature différente. So basically to mix, to combine, to reunite. Now notice, all of those verbs we've used there are without the se, because that is when somebody is mixing two of the things together. If something mixes to something else, or with something else, you've got to say se mêler, se combiner, se réunir, or this, s'unir, for example. So to combine tenderness with severity. What a lovely analogy. What a lovely description of my teaching style. Unir par le mariage ou par un traité, lovely. Synonyms, combiner, combine, conjuguer, joindre. We know joindre because if you say you're going to meet somebody and it's not the first time,